It's the stage one, as my brother calls it, the prologue. We're coming up to across the River Ouse as we head for the station. Riding out of Gloucester past GCHQ. The infrastructure and cycle paths, that seems to be very good. Leaving Cheltenham for Gloucester, Sustrans or National Cycle Route 41 takes you into the heart of Gloucester. Little drinks break right in the heart of Gloucester. Canal towpath, as we're about 2 or 3 miles from a first night's accommodation. We've only done 25 miles total today, I should think, but it's 38 degrees.
Nigel's getting ready. Nigel's almost ready. I'm not.
Here we are, cycling through the small village of Boddington. I'm having trouble in finding the brewery. Food of the champions. Give us a smile. We're doing a really kind of off-road section through fields of sheeps and lambs. It's not too bad. This is the best bit of it, surface wise, but we're heading towards rain. It's raining now, and I know that it's going to get worse, but well, I've taken my rain jacket off because it stopped raining. But it's still very, very mild and muggy. And we're going through this really nice village. I don't know what it's called. So here we are, probably with about 10 miles to go to Stratford upon Avon. And I think we've just surmounted the last hill of the day. Obviously Nigel's bringing up that lung he keeps spare somewhere. Heading towards Stratford upon Avon. We've got about 2 or 3 miles of off-road to do before we get into the town. Then we've got to find the B&B. Fairly good surface, looks like an old railway line, and it takes us right in, well, not right into, but nearly all the way into Stratford upon Avon. And I'm looking for a bench to have a sit down. We just stopped for a little break. We found this bench, and then over here
where the barge used to sit.
Exactly, this is Shakespeare's bench. Apparently William Shakespeare used to drink at the Red Lion until the landlord one evening said, "I'm sorry, Will, you can't come in anymore." And William said, "Why is that?" And the barman said, "You're barred." Here we are in Stratford, kettle's on. Nigel's washing his shoes in the sink. Day 3, Stratford upon Avon to Ibstock near Leicester. Over 55 miles and quite a bit of climbing. This real drag of the trip doesn't look much, but it's been going up for at least half a mile. Very quiet lanes in Warwickshire. Riding into Warwick. Here we are on the Greenway, probably an old railway line, leaving Kenilworth on the way to Coventry. And we still haven't found a cafe. And it's gone 11 o'clock. Heading towards Coventry city centre. Here's our way out of Coventry, alongside the canal. Well, it's not the Canal du Midi, but it's still very pleasant. Having a little break. We've done quite a few miles on the canal towpath and then into an industrial estate in a really crappy asphalty mix of grit and road and chippings and alongside the railway line, and then a lovely little section, and now we're off all that and we're back onto the side road, but I'm having a bit of food. I'm getting hungry. Almost the first injury of the ride.
There's the first one.
He fell off.
There's the first one.
Oh yeah, first one is down there. And he calls himself a pro. And the second one's there. Proper stop for something to eat and drink. Here we are in our lodge at Ibstock, which is comparatively well appointed. We have breakfast tomorrow morning of croissant, cereal, fruit juice, milk, tea, coffee. Welcome to day 4. This is the Queen stage, setting off from Pinewood Lodge, the other side of Ibstock, to Chesterfield, and it's a wet start. Not really wet, but as Mother would have said, the sort of rain that gets you wet through. So do we take the jackets off and risk it, or do we carry on and sweat? Where's my brother? There he is. Anyway, we've reached Ibstock. We've got another 57 miles to do, and another 2,500 feet of climbing. Anyway, more later. Goodbye. We've just come down here, opposite direction, and we missed that turn on the left. It looks very narrow, but we'll give it a go. It's the Cloud Trail. Well, after the Cloud Trail, which is a very nicely surfaced route, we're now on another canal towpath, heading towards Derby. We're on Ripley Greenway now, after several miles on the rather busy and boring Derby Road, north of Derby.
And a poorly surfaced cycling road.
Yeah. Anyway, a bit of peace and quiet again. Well, here we are, and we've got a bit of a problem. How do we get this sort of bicycle through this sort of barrier? And here's the answer, as demonstrated by young Mr. Cowling. Lift the bike up till the handlebars are nearly head height and turn them sideways, and then come through. Perfect. Boots. We're on what's known as the Tib Shelf Trail, I think. You can faintly hear the M1 in the background, obviously known to people for Tib Shelf services, but this is a very quiet, if somewhat lumpy trail. Now, it's not called the Tib Shelf Trail, it's called the Five Pits Trail, which would indicate heritage of coal mining in the area. And anyway, here we are in the garret suite of the Rectory B&B in Staveley, near Chesterfield. we have to keep watching our heads. Well, welcome back to the little trip, day 5, hopefully last day. Back up to Cawood, leaving Staveley. We're now on a, looks like another old railway line. Very pleasant this morning. Bit of sun, it's going to cloud over later, but I've got sun cream on. 1600 feet of climbing on day 5, and it all happens in about the first 15 miles. I can see why. Just coming up to the nearly the last climb of the whole event. I think there's just a couple more to go, and then the GPX elevation screen shows it's like falling off the edge of a cliff down towards the flatlands of Doncaster, and then the flatlands of North Yorkshire, the canal in Sprockborough. We're not in Holland or the Netherlands, but we could be. Well, here we are, enjoying our probably last ice cream of the trip, Carlton, and probably 6, I don't know, 9 miles to go, less than that probably back home. But it's been okay. Had some ups and downs today and yesterday. Some very interesting. Oh, I've just dropped quite a bit of my ice cream. I'll finish it off and then come back to you. Anyway, as I was saying, it was a bit lumpy first thing this morning, and then when we reached Doncaster, we had a nice ride on the Greenway through Doncaster. Didn't go through Doncaster at all, just kept on this old railway line. That was very good. I've never been on that before. And then on the canal side, coming coming north out of Donny, quite a rough canal towpath, and then we just made our way through East Yorkshire, up to Cowick, and then Snaith, and now we're at Carlton having an ice cream.